1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
You're not very loud.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, sorry. Yes.
That's better.
Yeah, where's the punk mug gone?
All right, no, I've got this one. Actually, I'm a bit miffed about it. You see what it says? It says when I bought this.
Yeah,
I bought this a few months ago and it said a free air guitar with every brew. Well, it still hasn't arrived, so I'm a bit annoyed about it. But perhaps it will turn up one of these days.
Oh dear me. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty good, really. Bit disappointed in my football team and all that's going on at Crystal Palace, but we'll probably talk about that in our other podcast later. But yeah, it's not a great time for Palace after winning the FA Cup last year and the joy of all that, and everyone saying, as I was, what a great time to be a Crystal Palace football fan. And now, almost inevitably, it's all hit the fan. I think if you're one of the 14 or so clubs at the bottom of the Premier League, not the top 6, you're effectively always going to be a feeder club. So when you develop good players, and particularly if you win something, you dare to win a trophy, much to the upset of the top teams, they will then simply pick off your best players in ways that a club like Palace can't afford to turn down. And also, as we know, if players don't want to stay at a team because they've been offered the delights of Manchester City or Manchester United, which I know is your team, and so on, their heads will be turned and they will want to go. So I guess as long as a fan, as long as we accept that's the nature of our club, we'll never really be one of the big boys, then you just have to accept it. But there we are. We had a great time last year. I just hope we can pick up a win or two this year, because there's an unlikely threat of relegation from the Premier League. But anyway, that's a long way of saying that's the only thing that's sort of bugging me, really. Yeah, hopefully things will improve.
It should improve, yeah. Right, so do you want to do the opening remark for the Alien Spaceship?
Yes, indeed. This is the Alien Spaceship podcast. Welcome along, viewers and listeners alike, wherever you may be. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship. Over to you, bro.
Okay, well, one thing we have looked at once or twice before is coincidences. Now, of course, we know that coincidences can happen, and they are genuine coincidences. I guess coincidence is something that's fascinated people down the centuries, really. Sometimes they can be explained, probably most times, by chance, by the laws of chance, but other times somehow alignment of the details so precise seems to defy logical explanation. So I thought today we'd have a look at some that really, with the details involved, do kind of defy logical explanation. I mean, I think it's good to look at things like this, because this life we live, this strange, incredible life, really, is full of mystery. And I think as humans, we like to sort of get our heads around things. We don't really like mysteries that can't be solved. But maybe some of these coincidences will teach us that sometimes we can't get to the bottom of something. We will never really understand just what is at play sometimes. Now, I know when in your comment on WhatsApp yesterday, you said you think most things are coincidence. Well, that's a view, and I think you're probably right that when coincidences happen.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang, with fun.
Then it is the laws of chance, the laws of probability are in play. I mean, it's almost bound to happen. but sometimes it goes beyond that. Now I'm going to start off with quite a simple one, which we can probably say is down just to chance, but I'll be interested in your view. Now, this was quite a remarkable case, actually, in the 1950s, when two comic companies that made comics, publishers, one in America and one in the UK, quite independently, without any knowledge of each other, introduced a character into one of their comics called Dennis the Menace. Now, you may or may not have heard of Dennis the Menace. In this country, I can think of his top with red and black sort of colours on it, and Dennis the Menace, and he became quite a cultural hero almost in this country, but in America as well. And it happened, ironically, in exactly the same year. Totally independent companies, independent countries, but they both came out with Dennis the Menace. Now, that's not it's not shattering, is it? It's not earth-shattering, but it's still amazing synchronicity, why that should happen, whether people or a person one side of the pond, of the Atlantic, had a similar idea at that similar time to somebody over here. Maybe something does happen that stimulates people in similar ways. So, first of all, I was going to ask you, did you read comics when you were a kid?
I did comics, yeah.
You did?
But I read mostly the action figures, Roy of Rovers, what's it called? Yeah, so I read that. Because I love the pictures. It appealed to my young mind, and I actually believed it. As a kid. I thought it was real. Now I know Blackburn Rovers is real, and probably, most writers would base it on an actual person, and then they would just spice it up and make it more appealing. Because if you wrote anything normal, it's not appealing, is it? But if you spiced it up a little bit, then it becomes appealing. Yeah, so I did read quite a few comic books when I was a kid. I loved it.
Yeah, I think Roy of the Rovers was in the Tiger, because I used to love Roy of the Rovers as a kid as well. But what about information that you as a child or as a youngster were able to get? Now, nowadays, of course, just anything, if we want to ask a question, you either ask Jeff.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.